listening to Chris Talks Cars on Cartoon Channel. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chris Talks Cars. My name is Chris Goodin, and once again, I am joined by a man who wants to Duramax swap your common rail, Mr. Brandon Cole.
Hey, wait a second. The Duramax is a common rail.
Well, I meant your Cummins.
Yes, I got you this time. I got it.
You got me.
I win. I won this
Mark
one.
it down. You win this time, sir. This round is yours.
Until next time.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Getting things ready. 48 days, I believe it was, until my big move out east. Yes, 48 days.
48 days.
I will be a partial Texan.
You'll be a certified Texan.
Hell yeah! You gotta have a native Texan sponsor you in to be a full bred, and
I'm your sponsor. But you do have to give up your old ways. You can't just like come in here and be like, "Well, where I come from."
Hey man, I'm just trying to fit in, get in where I fit in. So.
Man.
I'm down.
You're gonna fit in here. We got every walk of life right here in Texas.
All right. Well, big news coming up. Ford announced their new, I guess, is it a mini truck? Because it's smaller than the Ranger.
Yes, it's a mini truck. I think the best way to put it. Yeah. So it is.
But the Ranger is also a mini truck. So is this a mini truck? Micro truck?
Micro. I think micro truck was actually used part of describing it. So it is a
compact,
smaller.
Compact pickup, they call it.
You can call it whatever you want. But yeah, it is smaller than the Ranger by a decent amount. So which allows it to get, 40 miles per gallon. I'm assuming that's with the hybrid technology. I bet it's probably still really good with the 2-liter turbocharger.
2.5 liter, yeah.
Well, with the EcoBoost without the hybrid, I'm sure it's pretty good as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's coming out 2022. It's got your basic XL, XLT, and Lariat, trim levels, starting at a very reasonable $20,000, $19,995.
That's pretty appealing. I like it.
Yeah, and that's with the hybrid package.
Yeah, and I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I imagine it's pretty bare bones at the XL level, but even the Lariat, which is, the loaded one, that starts at $25,490, which let's see how much it is if you pimp it out. I can't imagine it's probably 32 grand.
Yeah, I think I went on there just
fully loaded.
Just for fun. And, they have a full FX4 package, which is great. I'm sure it doesn't have a low range. It's more like just a 4-wheel drive or maybe an all 4-wheel drive, which is fine. But in fact, that actually has like an off-road ready suspension, and it's going to have plenty of torque with the EcoBoost, and even with the hybrid, it's going to have good low range or low end power.
So you can only get all-wheel drive with the EcoBoost. If you do the hybrid, there is no all-wheel drive option. So you're right, no low range and no lockable diffs of any kind.
Yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't expect that, at least not right now anyways.
It's not meant for that. They have the Ranger and the F-150s if you really want to get aggressive with the off-roading.
Sure. But yeah, what it is, it seems like it's going to be really, I think it's going to do great here, to be honest. And we don't have a really small truck that I know of right now that you can just go buy.
Yeah, it's not that size, at least. It looks all right. It looks a little bit like the Volkswagen Amarok, if you've seen that.
No, I'm not.
Or it's I don't think they sell them here. Also a little bit of Honda Ridgeline in there in the back window, but overall, I think it looks good. It's got those F-150 C-shape headlights that I like.
Don't disrespect it like that, man. Come on.
I apologize.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I apologize. It doesn't. I mean, if we want to get into it, it doesn't even have a locking 4-wheel drive, so it's not. It's
not a real truck. But if I had to drive a super economical vehicle,
that's way better than
driving this.
That's way better than the Honda for sure. Like to get, everything's better than a Prius, but like I get 32 miles a gallon in the Honda, and the only reason I drive it is for the economy. If I could drive that and get 40 miles a gallon, every day of the week I pick the truck.
It's time to step up.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But someday, man, soon, once I get to Texas. Yeah. But one interesting thing when looking at the Mavrick, I found out there is a competitor to the Mavrick. Hyundai is introducing their first truck type vehicle, the Santa Cruz, which looks like a Subaru Forester and a Pontiac Aztek had a baby.
I don't hate it.
And that baby was a Ute. Yeah, it's not terrible. I talk shit, but it's not the worst thing. It's definitely better looking than the Subaru Baja.
Yeah, just looking at it here, it's like I don't think I would probably like to have the Maverick over this, just purely based on looks. But I don't not like the way it looks. It's not bad. And it does kind of strike me as the Subaru Forester a little bit, but I really don't like the Subaru Forester either. But I think this one looks a little bit better. Yeah.
So back to the Maverick real quick. It's got a continuously variable transmission or an 8-speed auto, which I'm guessing the CVT is with the hybrid option.
Right. Yeah. I hate those transmissions. They're so weird.
Yeah, that's what the Accord has. And like I said, it's great for what it's meant for, and that's economy. Like it's always adjusting when you're cruising to make sure you're at the lowest RPM. But for any kind of, I can't even find a tow rating for it. That's how not meant for towing it is. And then I'm sure you could make it performance oriented, but I haven't seen that in the Accord, obviously. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but my point is the Santa Cruz has an 8-speed auto and an 8-speed twin clutch auto.
Ooh, with that, it's got some good power right there. Look at that.
Yeah. So you could get 280 horsepower, 311 foot-pound of torque with an 8-speed dual clutch auto. That would be a fun little truck.
Yeah, that would for sure be more than adequate power for a little truck. And with a good transmission like that, that'd be a fun vehicle to drive for sure.
Now, granted, it only gets 28 on the highway versus the 40. Well, the Maverick gets better mileage in the city, the hybrid, obviously. But my point is the Maverick gets better fuel economy, but the Santa Cruz looks like it might be more fun to drive just based on the transmission options.
Just based off, I guess, Motor Trend did their testing here. If you look at the 0 to 60 times, the Ford actually, when equipped properly, looks like it's doing a little better.
Yeah, I imagine the hybrid off the line helps it.
I would say the hybrid is a slow one. It's the 2-liter EcoBoost that's going to be the claimed 6.9 0 to 60.
You know what? You're probably right.
That's just my guess, which is only 0.1 second faster, but with that twin clutch, I thought would make up a lot more.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to see if I can find a quick spec sheet anywhere, and of course I can't.
Well, that's fine. I mean, they give you pretty adequate information there, but I mean, just out of general speculation and what a lot of these like economical hybrids have to offer, typically, you don't really gain much as far as performance goes when you do that, especially considering all the extra weight that you're adding onto it.
Right. So I can't build the Santa Cruz yet. I was trying to see if there was a payload and towing rating for it.
Yeah.
But
well, the highlight is the Mavrick anyways.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty successful here. Even I think it has even more potential to be more successful than the Ranger. It has so much. It offers a lot. I mean, especially for people that live in the city. I mean, not necessarily. I don't really see a lot of country folks picking this thing up.
Yeah, no. Well, it's definitely not their market.
Yeah, I think this is really marketed towards somebody that could use a truck, maybe just kind of does a lot of driving, but still has to get into a city, parking garages, and maybe makes the occasional, beach run. You throw your gear in there, light camping, that sort of thing. Light Home Depot runs, little stuff like that. I think it's going to be a great trip for all those things.
Yeah. So the base model Mavrick can tow up to 2,000 pounds, which I'm guessing is the hybrid. And then the 2-liter turbo, the EcoBoost, can tow up to 4.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, for a truck that small, to be honest, I don't know if I'd want to tow much more than that anyways.
No, for sure. It's
up to a 21-foot trailer. I mean, geez, that truck's so small that it would dwarf that truck, a 21-foot trailer.
Yeah, so hooray for Ford putting out more new stuff and not going all electric all yet. That being said, the Ranger is bringing back a trim option from the 90s that I was unaware of, the Splash Edition.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring that back as a full electric or a hybrid?
It's claimed to be a full electric. First of all, I've never even heard of a Splash. I just reading about this.
Me either.
They're basically, they refiled for the Splash trademark, which is something they used, I suppose, early 90s. And I don't really know what came with it. It may have just been an appearance package, whatever. But bringing it back, so it's going to be an all-electric variant of the Ford Ranger.
Yeah, looking at a quick Google image search, it looks like a little step side. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this, the tailgate decal there. I don't know what it entailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, it's kind of insignificant, but just the fact that, I mean, we're kind of reporting on this here, but realistically, everything is going to start having EV variants or trim levels of it in the future, if not at least like a hybrid type.
Yeah. So
I think this is just the first of many other things to come. Hopefully they don't butcher them like they did the Mustang Mach-E, but I think we're just going to see a lot more of these.
Yeah, I'm fine with the trim level and them making it all electric. I just don't like it when they use the whole model and then steal it away.
The Lightning, jeez.
The Lightning, the Mach-E, all
Still
that.
Upset about it.
But that being said, there is possibly hope on the horizon.
Possible hope, yes. E-fuel.
Yeah.
So I guess Porsche isn't the first to do it, but they are kind of they've basically just dumped a bunch of money into research on e-fuels. So it's supposedly 85% less emissions than standard gasoline. And I think there's probably still room for improvement there as well. So I think this is a big step for guys that aren't quite ready to step into full EV or even full electric vehicles yet. And so it's one little thing that might help the internal combustion live a little longer, because the biggest thing is not necessarily that the superiority of the electric engine. It's the fact that it doesn't produce a bunch of emissions.
Right.
So greatly reducing like that, I think is it
ethanol based?
Yeah, so I've been trying to research a bit of it here, and it doesn't give a whole lot, but I think it is mildly ethanol, or it's similar to an ethanol. They really compare a lot of it to like E85. And I think the fuel, once it's done, is going to be compatible with flex fuel vehicles or E85 capable vehicles.
Right.
So any of these vehicles made in the past 20 years are going to be able to run this fuel if it takes off and if it becomes available. It says Porsche right now, I guess by next year, will have produced 34,000 gallons of it, which is nothing.
Not a lot.
I mean, for just testing sources, I mean, they can do a lot with that, but definitely cannot release this on any large scale.
Not when you're feeding these American Hurspers.
Yeah, so it's definitely
thirsty Hurspers.
Yeah, it's definitely still in development. And I would imagine if it's going to run anything like E85, if you know anything about E85, it takes roughly 30% more fuel than gasoline to run E85. So I don't think you're going to be getting good fuel economy with it, but with a much less emissions, I think it's it's definitely a good thing, good step forward and a big win in the internal combustion engine if it takes off and if it gets mass produced and if you can just roll up to your local mobile Exxon gas station and buy this.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all about anything that keeps V8s alive longer. So it'll just be nothing is free, in a sense that whatever we have to do to produce enough fuel to like sustain a population, like there's going to be some other downside with that, but hopefully it's a net gain overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
In other news, one of my favorite edition Mustangs, the Mach 1, returning 2022 with the shaker hood as a how much option, Brandon?
52. Oh no, just the shaker hood. The shaker hood itself is an $1,195 option.
They charge you $1,100 to cut a hole out of the hood. Yeah,
and it should have been just. I mean, I'm not bashing them. Okay, it's cool, and like every one of them's gonna get it because it's an awesome option. But
nobody wants a standard.
It should have been standard because, like, when you see Mach 1, anytime I think Mach 1, the first thing I think of is shaker hood. Right.
Yeah. No, the 2003 Mach 1 is absolutely one of my favorites. Car and Driver describes this new Mach 1 as a GT350 and Bullitt Mustang crossover, which sounds like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean,
I want two of them right now.
It makes sense, being that the GT350 got discontinued and more or less outshined by the 500, and then needing to bring something else, probably more economical price range. As opposed to the GT350 was, how much was that when it first came out? You probably know better than I would.
It was around 60.
Yeah.
From the factory. So this one starts at a 52.9, which says it's about $5,000 more than the Bullitt. So I
like it. I think
it looks good. I like the front splitter. I guess the what would that be?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Air dam. Yeah, looks good. It's not quite as aggressive as a GT500, obviously, but I think it looks good. I'd drive it. Yeah, someone gave it to me.
That extra 9,000 or 10,000 gets you that extra aggression, but I mean, they're saying that this thing's 4.2 seconds type thing, so it's probably pretty fast.
Yeah, 480 Hurspers and 420 Turks.
I'll take it.
So, hell yeah. It's not a bad starting point,
Can't you just drive it the way it is?
Nope.
Nope.
Not when ProCharger makes kits that are designed to go in like an afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally have kits for the GT350 because I was looking at it. It's like $7,000. You get a P1SC supercharger, and it's made to go in and not leave any marks because it's for like GT350 is kind of a collector's car, and they made it so that you can put it on and take it off and it looks like it was never there. Like you don't have to modify anything in the bumper. It's like $7,000 and 8 hours, and you've got an extra 100 and something horsepower.
Yeah. So
it's a great time to be an American, man.
It's also supposed to have like a really good suspension upgrade over the GT. It pulls more than a full G on the skid pad, and they're saying it's one of the best Mustangs they've tested on the skid pad, according to Motor Trend.
The Mach 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the Bullet and the GT350, they're both, I mean, the GT350 was a huge leap forward for the Mustang line. And then the Bullet was another little inch beyond that. And then, it looks good. I like this gray with the, it's like a racing stripe, but not racing stripe. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good looking. I'm digging it. What I can't get past though is like, especially Ford, because they've always done things a little bit differently. They've always had the smaller engine, but they've always been trying to be a little bit more nimble and everything as opposed to Chevy and Dodge. They throw all the power at it in a big engine.
Hey, Dodge is nimble as a freaking scared elephant, my friend.
Yeah, they actually are surprisingly nimble for how heavy they are. But even still, this Mach 1's 3,829 pounds. Now that's by today's standards, honestly, fairly lightweight compared to a lot of other stuff. But, that's still a lot. It wasn't long ago you could get a Camaro that was like 3,300 pounds a lot of I feel like sports cars are supposed to be much, much lighter.
Yeah, but Americans want everything. And part of it is regulatory, right? Like you got to have a certain amount of side impact stuff and bracing and this and that, which inherently makes the cars bigger and heavier. But a lot of it is our spoiled asses. I guarantee, I'd be willing to bet with a quick Google, that car has heated and cooled seats. It's got a 6 to 10 inch touchscreen. It's got a subwoofer. It's got leather. It's got dual zone climate control, all that stuff. Everybody wants the best of everything. They want this stiff, taut, like zippy sports car, but they also want the lap of luxury, which I get it. I'm spoiled too. Like I'm not looking to get into a rusty or a rattle trap that you can't hear yourself for a daily driver. But man, it
used
really
to be, you could go order like an SS, like a Chevrolet Camaro SS, like stripper package. Basically, you could order it. It was almost like a club racer package, but it just came with like no options, almost like it just standard. But it came in like a couple 100 pounds lighter. No T-tops. No traction control. Just the
sound deadening and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think there may have even been an option for like no air conditioning, which that's something I would not even give up, as basic as I am. But I really do miss that sort of stuff where they made things more simple in light of just making it lighter and perform better. It's everything just about like, oh, I got all this power. It's still a great car, but you sacrifice so much with all this luxury. It's a sports car. It's not a Rolls Royce. It's not a Cadillac. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Lotus, they go in the way that we're saying. Their motto is simplify and add lightness. Yes. So, I mean, they've got special lightweight carpet. Most of them don't have air condition or radios. Like those are true driver's cars. But they're not great for daily driving.
Right. Well, I think same goes for the Miata. And lately I've been really infatuated with Miatas. I've been doing a lot of research on them just for fun. And honestly,
it's the most raced car in the world.
I've never owned one. I've always kind of been a snob about it because it's, I think the most powerful one right now is like 181 horsepower, and that's like the most powerful one ever made.
There's two people that drive Miatas. I guess three. Real car enthusiasts that want the front engine rear wheel drive. Yeah. And then women and homosexuals.
Well, if I drive it, I guess I'll have to get into the enthusiast club because
you can't drive a stock convertible Miata just like to the store. No. Oh man. Yeah, that's
realistically, I don't ever see myself actually buying one, but I want to just because they look so fun.
Yeah, well, it's the old saying. It's way more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. And if you had one of those, you and I had one each, and we just could drive it around backcountry roads in third gear pinned. I think that would be way more fun than trying to baby some expensive car or some big car through there.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a lot of fun.
Not that I'd be upset about a big expensive car, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Although in other news, General Motors and Hyundai have accelerated their efforts to produce flying taxis.
And I'm not going to get on one of those.
No, not the first
flying taxi.
Not the first gen. That's for sure.
No gen. I'm not getting on one. That's just not sound like something out of.
Oh man. Hyundai and GM said on Monday they are pushing ahead with developing flying cars, with the South Korean company expressing optimism it could have an in-air taxi service in operation as soon as 2025.
No.
Yeah. GM says 2030 to overcome technical and regulatory hurdles, but
man, I've seen how many Chevrolet gets. No way.
Yeah. No, I'll take maybe Gen 2, but that's just because I like to fly.
I mean, I'm not against flying. Boeing's been doing it for a really long time. Chevrolet, General Motors. Yeah, they haven't done that since World War II.
Yeah, that's fair. So be on the lookout for your local air taxi soon.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I'm not going to be riding.
Yeah. And then to wrap it up, the new Nissan Z, the 400Z?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Goes into debuts August 17th. So just a few weeks after I get to Tejas, we'll have a new Nissan.
I don't know if we have any real info on it, but I'm excited to see what it's going to offer. It's one of the biggest things about the outgoing 370 is that at its price range, it's severely underpowered in comparison to its competition. So I'm really wanting to see how much power this thing's going to crank out, because it's really got to step it up to, especially if they're going to stay in the same price bracket as they're almost as expensive as a Corvette, or they were several years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's for that's like the Nismo Fairlady editions, not for like a base model 370 though, right?
The base model 370s are not cheap.
Really?
Brand new. I mean, you can't even buy one right now because they're it's impossible to find almost, but used, new anyways. But they were really expensive for the type of performance that you get out of them.
Yeah.
It would make.
They're not like a straight line speed car. I mean, they're more of like a track day JDM type.
Even still, the general Mustang just really handles better. I mean, this is just general reading from what I've seen. I've never really been behind the wheel of 370Z. I've driven 350s. I'm sure they're great and they handle really well and even better than the 350. But I feel like it's just for the money you spend, you're not getting your money's worth in comparison to say like a Mustang, Camaro, or
Yeah.
maybe it'll stand up to like an RT Challenger or something.
Well, I think we'll give the new one a big push forward and might make it worth in the price range as it is turboed. And depending on how much potential Nissan leaves in the engine, if it's like a 2J, for example, of back in the day where with some bolt-ons and a quick tune, you know, you're up with everybody else in that price range, then maybe, because that's really where the aftermarket is people trying to drag race them and stuff. So
yeah. Yep.
Hopefully, I hope to see something other than freaking GTRs at Texas 2K. Maybe we'll see some Zs.
Well, I'm not going to count on that. It's still going to be a different league, but I do have high hopes for the 400Z. I hope it lives up to the hype.
Yeah, well, we will have more on that as it comes out. That's it for me for this week. You got anything?
That'll do.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks everyone for watching and listening. I guess just listening. Video to come. That's coming soon. Well, not soon, but eventually. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate, and review. All our social medias are in the description below. I'm at ChrisTalksCars. He's at roll_Cole. And we'll see you next week. Bye.